آية من دين. وإذا قيل لهم ما رزق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لطمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين وضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون صدق الله العظيم. الفاتحة.
بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. کر کے ہیلے مہمانی بلایا روضہ احمد کا تم سے چھرایا زہر دے کے وہاں تجھ کو مارا رے ہوئے ہائے رے شاہ خراسان کو مارا چین آلے نبی نے نہ پایا قبر میں ہے زہرا کو رلایا ویرا کر دیا گھر اس کا سارا رے ہوئے ہائے رے شاہ خراسان کو مارا جا کے تو سے بسایا اے بھائی پھر نہ ملنے بھی تم سے میں پائی ٹکڑے ہوتا ہے میرا کلیجہ رے ہوئے ہائے رے شاہ خراسان کو مارا جد کو آپ کے بیس طرح سے بلا کربل میں آؤں سے مارا خیمہ تک بھی سرور کا جلایا رے ہوئے ہائے رے شاہ خراسان کو مارا علی زین العبا کو ستایا تو باری گلے میں پہنایا شہروں بازاروں میں بھی پھرایا رے ہوئے ہائے رے شاہ خراسان کو مارا پر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
محمد و آل محمد صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا یوں میرے درد دل کی دوا دیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا مجھ کو اذن حضوری ہو پہلے کرم میری قسمت میں ہو روشنی حرم میری قسمت میں ہو روشنی حرم میرا سایہ مقدر جگا دیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا آپ کے شعر کی روشنی دیکھ لوں موت سے پہلے میں زندگی دیکھ لوں موت سے پہلے میں زندگی دیکھ لوں خواب تعبیر سے اب ملا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا شاہ لولا کا واسطہ آپ کو پنجتن پاک کا واسطہ آپ کو پنجتن واسطہ آپ کو جو ہے بیمار ان کو شفا دیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا یوں میرے درد دل کی دوا دیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا بر شہنشاہ کربلا امام حسین بآواز بلند صلوات
has made a mistake. If you see someone has done something wrong and you become aware of it, by all means tell them, explain to them, show them the right direction, but don't expose them to the community, don't expose them to everyone else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the quality of covering the faults of human beings. A mu'min should also have this quality, to cover the faults of other mu'mineen. So the first quality of mu'min is kitman as-sir. If someone tells you something, keep it to yourself. If someone confides in you, don't break that promise to that mu'min. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this blessing to be respected. The hadith says, حُرْمَةِ الْمُؤْمِنِ أَكْثَرْ مِنْ كَعْبَةِ. The respect of a mu'min is greater than of Kaaba. Don't break that respect. Allah has respected you, you respect others. Just because you saw something that they've done, or they have told you something about their private lives, now it's your duty to cover it up, just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is covering your faults. So that's the first quality of a mu'min that Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam tells us. The second quality is of the Prophet. The second quality is mudarat al-nas. is to be able to interact with people without friction, arguments, fighting. Mudarat al-nas is be able to forgive people, smile at people even if they do wrong to you. It's a very difficult task that the Prophet had, and yet he managed it very well. Can you imagine the system in which he was trying to change? He comes and does things such as kissing the hand of Fatima al-Zahra. People used to bury their daughters alive. He kisses the hand of his daughter in the same society. In the society where people buy and sell slaves on an everyday basis, he tells them that slaves should go free and they have rights. In a society where their mentality is backwards in every way, step by step he changes it, but without conflict. Many of us have hot heads. As soon as we don't get our way, we become angry, we become upset. That is not the way for a mu'min to behave. Patience and the ability to deal with people is a great quality that a mu'min should have from the Prophet ﷺ. Children have a haqq on their parents, or huquq on their parents, and parents have huquq on their children. There are rights that children have as well as parents. It's not just the fact that the father and the mother must be respected. No, the children have certain huquq and rights as well. In fiqh, we have a whole discussion about this. I'll mention one thing, then I'll carry on because the time is very limited. One thing that, for example, we do as parents is that anytime we find clothes, anything that belongs to our children that they don't need anymore, we pack it up and give it to the poor, for example. It's a good deed we do. Your child has grown up, you take their clothes and you give it to the poor. Legally in fiqh, it is not yours to give away. Unless you borrowed it to your child and you loaned it for that period and said, I still own it, then you have to seek permission, or it has to be in the benefit of the child that you're giving away to the other person. It says if you don't name your child when the mother is pregnant, it's not even come out yet, even at that point it has huquq, it has certain rights. When the mother is pregnant, you must name the child. If the child, God forbid, dies in the period in which the mother is pregnant, then Yawm al-Qiyamah, it will say that you did not give my haqq of naming me whilst my mother was pregnant. Between brackets, a mother that dies in the period from when she becomes pregnant until the period where she is breastfeeding. So anywhere from, 2, 3, 4 years period. From the time she becomes pregnant until the time she stops breastfeeding. If she dies within that period, the hadith says she is died as a mujahid with the Prophet. She's as if she was doing jihad with the Prophet ﷺ. And then some people think that the status of a lady is below that of a man. We cannot have this. This is only for ladies. Number 3, the sunnah from the wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is patience, sabr. Amir al-Mu'mineen was the greatest example of patience, and a mu'min must take this third concept from the wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have patience. فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. The hadith says, in difficulties to have patience. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes something away from you, you see people all around, you see it on the news. For example, they're very big businessmen. They have great tradings that they do, and all of a sudden the stock market changes. And either they have a heart attack or they commit suicide. And suicide will come to, at some point in this lecture as well, I'm going to touch up on it. Suicide and mental health issues. In the ahadith of Ahlul Bayt was Imam Rida whose commemoration of his Shahadah is today. Why do these people commit suicide? Why do these people kill themselves? Why is it that they're in despair? Because they don't have patience. Why don't they have patience? Because of lack of iman. A person who is mu'min does not kill himself because of something that happened in dunya. Does not commit himself to eternal hell because of temporary challenges. Temporary challenges, all temporary. Patience. Patience from something very small, to your child making a noise at home and you not shouting at the child for making a noise, to patience when something great is taken away from you. Your father dies, your mother dies, your child dies, your wealth is taken away from you. Or even, God forbid, your respect is taken away from the community. Sometimes it happens if people don't listen to the first one. Sometimes people don't realize what damage the small muscle that is in the mouth, which is the tongue, can do. The tongue can do very good. It can bring people together. It can bring enemies and make them friends. And the tongue can alleviate pain. The tongue can be therapeutic for many people. The tongue can be the best way of tabligh for certain people. The tongue can be a wasila for haqq and good. The same tongue that can do all these good deeds can also ruin reputations, divide communities, cause people to come at such a low state where they kill themselves or contemplate killing themselves. This small muscle in our mouth, Yawm al-Qiyamah, there is a long wait for a mu'min to answer for the tongue. Everything that we have is an amana. Our hands, our eyes, our bodies, it's all amana that Yawm al-Qiyamah we have to answer for. But particularly for the tongue, we have to answer for a lengthy period. Why? Because the tongue has a huge amount of responsibility. Hence Amir al-Mu'min says, "Man kathara kalamuh faqad kathara khata'uh." Whoever speaks too much automatically will make too many mistakes. A sign of a mu'min is one that does not talk too much, one does not sleep too much, and one that does not eat too much. Those three things are one of the signs of the mu'min. So Amir al-Mu'min says that if you speak too much, you're going to be making mistakes. A person that talks too much and makes too many mistakes, that will affect his heart. فَمَاتَ قَلْبُهُ. His heart will die. And whoever his heart dies, he will lose his iman. Whoever loses iman will be in hell. So this small muscle that we don't spend very much time thinking about, the tongue muscle, can either give life to people. When I say give life to people, when two young people want to become married, you can bring them together. When two people have marriage problems, they have difficulties, you can bring them together with the tongue. Give them therapy sessions, talk to them. A person who is going through a difficulty with your tongue, bring them. Defend the mu'min's honor. People say something about it, no, this is not correct. Defend his honor. The same tongue can backbite, can belittle, can mock, and can remove the veil that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put down to protect mu'mineen and mu'minat. Same tongue. Patience is one of the virtues that we can use in order not to hastily use any of these in the wrong way. The 8th Imam writes a letter for his Shias. Who does he give it to? He gives it to Abdul Azim al-Hasani. Has anyone been to visit Abdul Azim al-Hasani? He's buried in Tehran. I'm not sure how many of the mu'mineen have been there. Have any of you been there? Abdul Azim al-Hasani? He's buried in Tehran. He was alive during 4 Imams. He was born in the time of Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam, and he died at the time of the 10th Imam, Imam al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam. 4th Imam, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Four Imams he saw in his life. He was a companion of 4 Imams. Imam al-Rida alayhi salam gives him a letter. He says, read this to my Shias. This is a letter of instructions for me and you. The letter says, tell the believers of my imamah. Insha'Allah, we are the believers in Imam al-Rida alayhi salatu wasalam and all the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam. So we fall into the category. Tell the believers of my imamah. What to tell them? 1, do not allow shaitan to enter your harim, your protected area. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants a mu'min to be with him. Don't allow shaitan to come between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single second that you live, shaitan tries to come between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every single second. At all the time, he's trying to make a move to separate you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he does not separate you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he's lost. One of the best ways that shaitan separates you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you become in the path of shaitan is what? Is the same way that he was thrown out of heaven, by arrogance. If he can make you arrogant, then he's won. Because as soon as you become arrogant, you go towards shaitan. You cannot learn anything, you cannot understand anything, you cannot be one of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To be a servant, you must be humble. Being humble goes against being arrogant. So if shaitan can make you arrogant, that's it, he's won. Game over. If he's made you arrogant, there is no point coming to the mosque or praying because you're not benefiting from anything. An arrogant person has his ears closed, his eyes closed, and most importantly, his heart closes. An arrogant person sees nothing but himself. A mu'min sees everyone else but himself last. A mu'min 24 hours a day, he's thinking about the hajat of the mu'mineen and the mu'minat. How to make himself more humble. If you wonder, for example, when you pray, why concentration is low, think about arrogance, how humble the prayer is being taken. If we cannot cry when we are praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's a problem, no? If we cannot have tears coming down our face when we're speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is an arrogance. If you're humble, you can cry very easily. If you're humble, you can whiten your soul very easily. But if you have the attribute of shaitan, which is arrogance, then you cannot. Shaitan tries to move into every aspect of your life. From the time that you sleep, from the time you wake up. In the morning you wake up for Fajr prayers, he tells you no, sleep, sleep, sleep. Afterwards, you wake up in the morning, you want to do wudu. No, there's no point doing wudu. Israf, too much water. I will not do it. Wudu takes 2 seconds. You want to come out of your house, a smile for your wife and kids. He stops you from smiling. One surah before I leave the house, I will open the Quran and read before I leave the house, so that Allah gives barakah to that day, gives me mercy on that day. And shaitan says, no, you don't have time, you're late already. One single ayah of the Quran, let me open the Quran, just one single ayah. No, you're too late. You must close the Quran, get to work. He does not allow you to read a single ayah of the Quran before you leave the house. You take the first step. You want to eat something. What does a mu'min think when you want to eat something? It is halal or not? Shaitan says, eat. Who is giving you food? Doesn't matter. The rizq that you want to make, go to this person, that person, your manager, your friend, your enemy, doesn't matter. Anybody that you think might give you money from wherever it may be, halal, haram, doesn't matter. Shaitan tells you what? Go to everybody and anybody apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you have a problem, seek assistance from every possible angle, but don't go to Imam Zaman, because that's my enemy. The person who loves us the most, don't go to him. Instead, go to the person that wants to get you to hell, which is shaitan. Every single second, he's there to create this barrier between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have to fight, and you have to fight, and you have to fight, until when? Until the last breath. We'll come to this in a moment, about taking the last breath and having a challenge at the last breath, because many people die without iman at the last second when they're about to give their lives. So the letter says, tell my Shias to distance themselves from shaitan. 1, 2, tell my Shias to spend their time on what is worthwhile, not to waste their time. See, humans have not changed since Allah created Adam until now. It's just the different ways have come. So now to waste your time is far easier than it was back then. Now you can watch silly videos and play games and spend your time on screens far more than you could back then. This didn't exist, but it's still wasting time. The hadith says that the best time for a person to learn is in his childhood days. A child can grasp like no other person. So if a child is busy wasting time in things that have no benefit, then he has no time to learn. The father is too busy trying to make his rizq because he thinks being happy is to do with having money. So he doesn't have any time for the child. The mother in today's society, either she's working or she's busy with 1,001 other things than their own child. And this child is left to their own devices to teach themselves. So who takes care of your child when you're not taking care of your child apart from shaitan? Shaitan is there. You're the one that's supposed to be protecting your child from shaitan, but you're too busy trying to leave them your inheritance. And when you die, they want to recite a Fatiha for you. And you want to leave them these millions. Next, Imam alayhi salam says, and the most important things that I want from my Shia is to be kind to one another. Kindness to one another. If my Shias are kind to one another, then I will give them shafa'ah from all their other sins. But if they backbite and they hurt the feelings of one another, I will pray that Allah brings them to hell and persecutes them for that, even if they have done everything else. So Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wassalam in the letter says the most important thing for the Shias is to be kind to one another. A mu'min is one body. All the mu'mineen around the world should be one body. If you see a mu'min in pain, doesn't matter if it's 1,000 miles away, you should be in pain. And if you see a mu'min happy, you should be happy. We see the opposite. We see if someone has made gains in knowledge, in wealth, in dunya, the other mu'mins are jealous, they want to bring them down. They don't get happy. If someone is happily married, they get jealous. If someone is making good rizq, they become jealous. Jealousy is one of the attributes of shaitan. Instead of being happy for them, alhamdulillah, when my brother is successful, I am successful. If my brothers are happy, I am happy. If they are sad, I am sad. If they're hungry, I'm hungry. If they're needy, I'm needy. The mu'mineen are one body, not split into parts. Shaitan wants us to be split into parts. So shaitan does everything possible to split us into small divisions. It is the duty of every single one of us to overlook those small divisions and look at the 99.9% we have in common. We spend so much time talking about unity between religions and sects, and we miss the main important point of unity within ourselves. Where is that unity gone? Where is the sense of community, of helping one another, of being one, being united, being powerful? The next hadith that I want to recite tonight before we talk about Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam is again from the 8th Imam. One of the ways that you can vaccinate yourselves against the entrance of shaitan, this vaccination is for children and adults alike, is ziyarat. By going to ziyarat. Some people think that ziyarat is something like a holiday and that's it. Instead of going to Spain, they go to Najaf and Karbala. It's not the case. The act of ziyarat is an act of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an ibadah. It must be done with the intention of qurbat in Allah ta'ala that we discussed yesterday. And Imam Rida says, whoever comes to my ziyarat, I will help him in 3 places. Now before I recite the rest of it, I said I would mention the issue of mental health in our society. If a person has a headache, everyone is quickly to give them tablets for the headache. And it's understandable. And no one says, oh, I'm embarrassed to say I have a headache. But if there's a mental health issue, people are embarrassed. Why? We are made of mental and physical parts. And the mental side needs just as much attention as the physical. One of the ways to cure our mental problems is ziyarat. And it's not just ziyarat. It's having the peacefulness in the harams. أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ. If your heart has issues, then the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will calm you down. We are in a race with everybody, with one another, to nowhere. This race makes the head spin. It makes a sane person become insane, because of everything that goes on around us. When people have mental health issues, they think they are helpless because they cannot get out this bubble. They are trapped. But the fact of the matter is that mental health is something that is related to the soul and the iman of the person. And the more you work on the soul and the iman, the more control you have over your mental health. Leave time for meditation. By the way, physical activity is part of iman as well. Exercising is part of helping mental health as well. Mu'min should exercise. But they all should also give time for their mental health. Prayer. When we pray, detach yourself from dunya. Try to give yourself 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes in the evening, just to detach yourself from this dunya. Whatever the problems there is, just forget about it, 5 minutes. Nothing is going to happen within that 5 minutes. The world is not going to end. Just leave it and see what happens. Slowly make that 5 minutes 10 minutes, because when you do that 5 minutes and you practice, it becomes enjoyable. It becomes sweet. And it doesn't matter how old you are, by the way. If you're 5 years old or 50 years old or 100 years old, there's always a level of increasing your iman, of connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So start with 5 minutes in your prayer mat. 5 minutes, even if you don't do anything, just don't think about dunya. Khalas. Don't play with your mobile. Leave the mobile out of the prayer room. Leave your laptop out of the prayer room. Go into a room where you cannot be disturbed. Tell someone, do not knock on the door for 5 minutes. I want to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want to speak to Imam Zaman. 5 minutes. Khalas. If you enjoy it, then make it 10. If you enjoy it, make it 15. Eventually what will happen is that becomes the most enjoyable part of your day. So before the adhan is recited, you're already running to get your wudu and be prepared, because that's the most enjoyable part of your day. You've made yourself reach a position where speaking to Imam Zaman, speaking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something you look forward to. It's no longer a chore. Don't give your children the chore of praying. Make them enjoy praying, and they don't have to be forced into it. Have you heard the phrase that says, find something that you enjoy for work and you will never have to work for the rest of your life? Because if you enjoy your work, it's no longer work. If you enjoy a prayer, then it's no longer a chore. You enjoy it. And it helps with the mental illnesses. Why do people commit suicide? People commit suicide because they see no help. They think that this is it. They don't see any way out. Why does people have no hope? Because they have no hope. Why does a person not have no hope? Because shaitan is in front of them. He's cut all the roads. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran that if you have belief in Allah, man yattaqillah, taqwa in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will find the way out for you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will find the way out for you, but you have to believe in Him. So a person that commits suicide cannot see anything else apart from that. And that is what our society is creating more and more. That's why the numbers are going higher. A society that's built on materialism. And the soul is not fed anything. So our 8th Imam says that 3 places I will come to visit you if you come to visit me. So you come visit me once, I visit you 3 times. It's a good deal, huh? 1. Sakarat al-Maut. Sakarat al-Maut is the time when a mu'min is about to have the angel of death take his soul away. The first place. This is the place that I told you shaitan will come to you. One of the challenges, the last challenges a mu'min goes through is the last breaths that he takes. May Allah help us in that state. Even at the last moment, until you're breathing, shaitan is with you. Just as shaitan is with you, Imam Zaman is with you. Which means that even in your last breath, if you've sinned all your life, at that moment you can say, Ya Allah, astaghfirullah. Ya Allah, forgive me. Even at that moment, you mean it, Allah will forgive you. Just as if at that time you lose your faith, and you no longer believe in Allah, you would die a non-believer. We see so many people, I've seen in my life, all their lives they're believers until they become old. When they become older, for whatever reason they've done, whatever sin they've done, they lose everything. They go the wrong path. Nastaghfiru billah. That's why in our prayers, so many times we say, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. It's wajib to say Sirat al-mustaqim because Surah al-Hamd is wajib. If we are already believers, then why do we say guide us in the right direction? It's to stay on the right direction. It's not to go into it. Because at any time, you could move. Salama, the wife of the Prophet, says that I saw the Prophet crying in the morning and praying. I listened to what he says. He said, Ya Allah, don't leave me alone 1 single second to myself. Don't leave me to myself 1 single second, 1 single moment. That's the dua of the Prophet. She says, I asked him, you're the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're praying this? He said, yes. Was Yunus not the Prophet of Allah? 1 single second Allah left him to his own devices, look what happened. So, until the last second, we have to have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek His assistance that we die as mu'mineen. Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wasalam says that I will come to you at that point. Sakarat al-Maut is not just a place where you're tested because of your iman. It's a very difficult time. Because at that particular time you see everything leaving. Regardless of how religious you are, you have things that you love in dunya. You have your family that you love in dunya. You have your wife, your children, your husband, your mother, father, your wealth that you've created all these years. Whatever it is that you love in dunya, you see them for one last time. And when you're leaving, it's difficult. The pain of the extraction of the soul from the body is difficult. Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wasalam says, I will come to you to assist you in that time. Number two, I will come to you in the grave. The grave is another place. All the mu'mineen will go through this, the pressures of the grave. Nakir and Munkir. Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Fatima bint Asad is who? The mother of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam. The mother of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam was fearful of death. This mu'minah, mutadayyinah. So when she died, the Prophet prayed on her janazah. The Prophet himself prayed on her janazah. Huh? What greater blessing than this for the Prophet to pray on your janazah? What greater honor? You think you'd be straight to heaven, no? The woman who gave birth to Amir al-Mu'mineen, and the Prophet prayed on her janazah. What next? The Prophet buried her himself too. And people saw that the Prophet took his shirt and put it on top of her janazah. And he stayed in the grave for a while, then left the grave. When he came out of the grave, he said, Ya Rasulullah, why did you go down to the grave? Take your shirt off, stay there with her for a while. He says, because Fatima bint Asad has a great position in the eyes of Allah and in my eyes. She's a believer, she's a mu'minah, mutadayyinah. I gave her I put my shirt so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yawm al-mahshar, the day that all of us will come naked and will be questioned, that she will be covered because she's Fatima bint Asad with this shirt. Ya Rasulullah, why did you stay with her down there? He said, I stayed with her because as soon as a mu'min dies in a grave, the malaika come to question that person, regardless if you're good or bad. That questioning is difficult. He says, I stayed there to help her through the questioning. And once they're all gone, I came out of the grave. Fatima bint Asad goes through this. And me and you have no fear of death, have no fear of the grave. If we had fear of the grave, we would not live like this. If a person fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he would not sin. If a person respects Imam al-Zaman, he would not sin. As the believers of the 12th Imam, we are disrespecting him by sinning. We say we believe in you, yet we do against what you say to us. So Imam REDHA says, in the grave and in the trials and tribulations that will come in the grave, such as the squeezing of the mu'min, I will come and help you. Three, the third place that I will come to help you is Yawm al-Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. The Day of Judgment, we have no time to discuss in this lecture. Nor is it part of the topic to discuss. It's enough for me to mention that Yawm al-Qiyamah has many phases and stops. It's like a journey. Some of the stops takes thousands of years. Now we don't know what years means, we don't know what thousands of years means, we don't know what numbers means. In this dunya that we have numbers that we created. If you have 24 hours in one day, this 24 hours is nothing that is fixed. We put 24 hours as a number. 60 seconds in 1 hour. Who put 60 seconds? We put 60 seconds in an hour. What is time? What is seconds? What is hours? It is something that we use as a quantity measure for time. But time in itself is a concept that is not still, that can be changed. These seconds or these hours, it's not something that is set in stone. We can change it. We can put 70 seconds equals 1 hour and 26 hours equals 1 day. Yes, from one place to another, it takes a period of time. What that is, anyway. So when the riwayat say 10,000 years, 100 years, 10,000 years, 2 million years, we don't know what these years are. Because the years we talk about in dunya is to do with the rotation of the earth around the sun. This solar system does not exist Yawm al-Qiyamah. After Yawm al-Qiyamah there will be no earth in the way that it is right now. There will be no sun in the way it is right now. Therefore the days and the hours that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the hadith, we don't know how long they are. But what we do know, that it's a symbolic measure to show you that it's a long period. For example, they stop you about salat, your prayers. They stop you about zakat. They stop you about how you dealt with your parents. I was telling some mu'mineen last night that with regards to your parents, how you deal with your parents, it doesn't matter if they're alive or dead. Your parents can disown you even if they're dead, if you disown them. If you forget about your parents when they're dead, no khairat, no fatiha, nothing for them, they can disown you. So the respect and the rights of the parents do not die with their kafan. They stay. And they can help Yawm al-Qiyamah. There's many ahadith that mu'mineen can do shafa'ah for mu'mineen. Parents can do shafa'ah for their children, depending on what sort of parents they were, obviously. So one of the trials and tribulations of Yawm al-Qiyamah is that for each a'mal we'll have to wait. Some of them say that the way it is staged, so certain people can see certain other people. And one of the greatest difficulties of Yawm al-Qiyamah is that some people lose that sitar that we talk about at the beginning. We said one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that a mu'min should have is to cover the faults of other mu'mins. Yawm al-Qiyamah, certain people who are away from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have that veil removed from them. So this dunya they lived respectfully. In the akhirah their true face will be shown to everybody. That in itself is the biggest punishment. That in itself is the biggest punishment, because this dunya they lived 50, 60, 70, 80 years very honorably, or as it may seem, religious, pious, humble, all the good qualities. Yawm al-Qiyamah comes and the true face is bare for everyone to see. How embarrassing is that? Hence it's so important that when we speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whilst we have life until the day that we die, we are humble and we ask Allah to swipe our slate clean. Forgive us, so that Yawm al-Qiyamah we go with white souls, just as we were born. Ziyarat of the A'imma alayhim wassalatu wassalam is one of those ways. Going to Hajj is another one of those ways. One of the themes that are along with everything that I mentioned is the equality of humans. From all the ahadith I just mentioned, the equality of all of us. In Hajj you see that equality very prominently. Everyone wearing white, doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Everyone has to sleep on the floor in certain places like Muzdalifah. Everyone has to go through a certain routine. It looks like Yawm al-Qiyamah. Everyone's running to their own destiny. These things make a person humble and also cleanses oneself. It cleanses us. It says when you come back from Hajj, it's as if you come back like a newborn. When we go to the ziyarat of A'imma alayhim wassalatu wassalam, some of us, not all of us, some of us have a trigger that makes us cry and seek repentance for the mistakes that we made. We push shaitan away. I was telling someone the other day that this should be the spark of a new life. Not that you come back for ziyarat, not that you come back from Hajj and you go back to exactly the same lifestyle that you had previously. No, it should be a start of a brand new life to continue. And next time you go to ziyarat, you're a higher status than you were before spiritually. And you keep going higher after ziyarat, after Hajj, after Umrah, after Hajj, that eventually you start tasting the beauty of ibadah. You start smelling the beauty of ibadah. That hijab that we discussed last night starts to be removed from you. You start seeing things for what they really are rather than what other people see. So it's all about taking the steps in the right direction. Everything that we discussed points to one direction and only one direction, the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only direction that can help us in dunya and akhirah is the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how do we get to the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Through the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam. Humbleness and seeing everybody as equal is a great quality. There's many ahadith that people that had great wealth, the rich businessmen, used to not go to the house of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, the 8th Imam, to have dinner with him, because when he used to put the suffer out, he used to take all of the workers, the servants, whichever color they were, black, and they used to sit with the Imam and eat with the Imam. And the merchants were not used to this, that the servants eat with the master. But Imam Rida said, this is the way I eat in my house. You like it, you come. You don't like it, don't. A mu'min does things for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Rida ate, slept for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A mu'min eats for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do I mean that eats for the sake of Allah? A mu'min eats so that he has power to do ibadah. A mu'min doesn't do anything for the sake of Allah, apart from the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you wash clothes to get them clean from najasa for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they can pray, so you can do ibadah. If you sleep for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you can be a servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every footstep, thing that you take is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the true mu'min. And Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam was the perfect example of a true mu'min. Every single one of us makes mistakes. Every single one of us. Hence we should not look at Muslims as perfect examples. But the A'immah alayhi salatu wasalam, they're perfect examples. Hence the Thaqalain is Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. Two divine leaders until Yawm al-Qiyamah. If we want to be successful in dunya and akhirah, we must stick to these two. You see, the non-believers are using the riwayat, and they're succeeding in their lives, and we put them to the side, and we wonder why. I wanted to talk about mental health and physical health much more, but we don't have much time. I'll just mention this, that if you look at meditation and physical activity, you will see in the riwayat how important it is to meditate, how important it is to do sports. And yet we don't. And the West do it. Hijama, I saw someone in the West, doctors that do hijama. Hijama is when you let out blood from the back in certain spots. And Westerners were doing more than Muslims were doing. Amir al-Mu'mineen on his deathbed to Imam Hassan says, I am worried about the day that kuffar, non-believers, act on the Quran and my ummah leave the Quran. They're becoming successful by acting on the Quran and the riwayat of Ahlul Bayt, and we don't even know the riwayat, we don't even know the Holy Quran. We don't even teach our children Arabic to be able to read the ahadith or read the Holy Quran and understand it. And yet we want guidance from these two. Until that we are alive in this dunya, it is not too late to change our lives for the better. And no one should think that they're above change. Everyone needs to change for the better. Everyone needs to go up. All of us on the same boat. None of us are ma'soom. The ma'sumin are 14 only. Everyone needs to get better and better and better and try to be a different person. It's arrogance that stops us from doing this. It's arrogance that stops us from reading a book, listening to a lecture, changing ourselves for the better, not listening to our elders. This is arrogance. Humble person wants to change, wants to take in as much as possible. So if one thing we can take from today, and the words of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, is to displease shaitan by staying away from arrogance and please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by being humble. If we are humble, one of the things that we can do is shed tears very easily. If you see someone that they listen to the masa'ib and they can't cry, they ask Allah for forgiveness, Ya Allah, Allahumma maghfirli. They're speaking to Allah, they can't cry. Why? Have you thought about this? And some mu'mins, as soon as you say, Assalamu alayki ya Abu Abdullah, you see them, tears come down. This is to do with the soul. Unfortunately, we don't have time to complete this discussion. Inshallah, if we're alive and we get another time to be here with you guys, we can carry on the discussion of equality and mental health and physical health, inshallah. Today is the day of Shahadat of Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wassalam, our 8th Imam. Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wassalam tells Ibn al-Shabib, he says, Ya Ibn al-Shabib, oh the son of Shabib. If we can have the lights off, please, as last night, if someone turn the lights off. It says, Ya Ibn al-Shabib, in kuntu bakiyan ala shay'in. Ya Ibn al-Shabib, if you were to cry for anything, فَبْكِي لِلْحُسَيْنِ ibn Ali alayhi salam. Then cry for Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. I'm going to recite some of the masa'ib of Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wassalam, because Imam REDHA himself says that if you want to cry for anything, even on the day of Shahadat Imam REDHA alayhi salatu wassalam, then cry for Husayn, the son of Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. I have hajat, I know people listening have hajat, and Bab al-Hawa'ij, Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam is there. May Allah give you the opportunity to do ziyarat, inshallah. On the day of Ashura, Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wassalam took Bani Hashim one by one to the tents when they were. One of the most difficult times was the body of Ali al-Akbar, which Imam Husayn alayhi salatu wassalam took to the tents. After the musibah of Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam, Imam Husayn was no longer the same. Abu al-Fadl Abbas saw this. Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam came to Imam Husayn. He says, Ya akhi, ya Aba Abdullah, give me permission to go into the battlefield, Ya Husayn. Imam Husayn alayhi salam says to Abu al-Fadl Abbas, Ya Abbas, you're my flag bearer. You're the flag bearer of this army. If you were to die, then the whole army will lose their patience. Abu al-Fadl Abbas says that my chest is full and I cannot take this anymore. I want to take revenge on the enemies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Hussein says, okay, Ya Abu al-Fadl, take your sword and take your horse, but remember the children that they are seeking water from you. Abu al-Fadl Abbas takes his sword and he goes towards the water. He kills the enemies that come towards him from all the sides. He kills the enemies until he reaches the water. He takes his mashk and fills it with the water and puts it on his right arm and goes towards the khayma. Sukaina is waiting for him. Ruqayya is waiting for him. He has hopes to get the water to the tents, and the enemies see that they cannot overcome him from the front, so they come from the back of Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. One of them takes the sword to the right hand of Abu al-Fadl alayhi salam. He cuts off the right hand of Abbas. Abbas holds the water with his left hand. They cut the left hand of Abbas. He holds the water with his teeth, going towards the khayma of Sukaina. He still has hopes of getting the water to the children until an arrow comes into the water and the water falls onto the ground. He has no longer any hope. He loses his balance. An arrow comes to the eye of Abu al-Fadl Abbas alayhi salam. When the enemies see this, they come and they raise their swords. They all hit Abu al-Fadl Abbas until one person from behind his Abbas on the head. Abu al-Fadl Abbas falls onto the ground. He says, Ya akhi adrak akhak, Ya Aba Abdullah. This is your brother calling for your assistance one last time. Imam Hussein alayhi salam rushes to the body of Abbas alayhi salam. He looks under the sky and says, Oh Allah, now my back is broken, that Abbas is gone. He tries to take the body of Abbas to the tents. Abbas says, No, I am embarrassed of the children. Leave my body here. How do I see Sukaina and Ruqayya without water? Leave my body to be here. Imam Hussein alayhi salam leaves the body. When Zainab al-Kubra sees this, she comes out of her tent. She sits on the ground and hits herself. She says, Ya Abtah wa Muhammadah wa Aliyah. Everybody say, Wa Husayna, Wa Husayna, Wa Husayna. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. باسمك العظيم الأعظم. Keep your hajat in mind, the hajat of all the mu'mineen and mu'minat. العز الأجل الأكرم. يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين. 5 times آية المباركة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 والعلم الدعاء فرج. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Before we recite the Fatiha, just one last reminder that tomorrow there is a question answer session with myself, inshallah, straight after Maghrib prayers. Anyone that has any questions, they can write it down, so it'll be answered for tomorrow, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil
इबादत हरद नहीं होती तेरे रोज़े पे कोई भी दुआ नाना नबी दादा अली दादी तेरी النساء المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا بینائی بھی دیتا ہے تو گویائی بھی دیتا ہے تو مانگے اگر تجھ سے کوئی دانائی بھی دیتا ہے تو بھی تو باب علم ہے تو بھی تو ہے مشکل کشا نانا نبی دادا علی دادی تیری خیر النساء المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا ہے زمین آہو بھی تو گل بھی ہے تو خوشبو بھی تو ہے پوچھتا ہر آنکھ سے گرتے ہوئے آنسو بھی تو تیری عطائیں دیکھ کر دشمن کو بھی کہنا پڑا نانا نبی دادا علی دادی تیری خیر النساء المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا تیری کرامات نظر شب ہو کے ہو وقت سحر کہتا ہے ظاہر تیرا روزے کی جالی چوم کر مشہد مقدس ہو گیا تو نے جو کر دی اذان نانا نبی دادا علی دادی تیری خیر النساء المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا روزے سے تیرے دور ہے ہم تو بہت مجبور ہیں روزے سے تیرے دور ہے ہم تو بہت مجبور ہیں آنکھوں سے آنسو ہے رواں دل بھی غموں سے چور ہے تجھ سے کہیں گے حال دل اذن زیارت کر عطا نانا نبی دادا علی دادی تیری خیر النساء المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا المدد مولا رضا یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین آخر میں ہم سب مل کے عزادارو ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ عزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ عزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے اپنی نسلوں کو سکھاتے رہو ماتم خواہنے سینہ در سینہ کرے بس یہ عزاداری سفر جیسے حالات بھی ہو یہ عمل جاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ عزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جاری رہے ہم رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے لاکھ بدلے یہ زمانے کی روش موسم ایک پل بھی نہ رکے اشک عزائے ماتم ماتم شیخ کا جنون ذہن پر تاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جا سب مل کے زدہ رو ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاد رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے تم مگر ذاکر شبیر ہو یہ یاد رہے چاہے اس غم کے لیے سر بھی کٹے گئے بھی جلے حرمت فیش ازا جان سے پیاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جاری ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاد رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے یہ سبیلے یوں ہی آباد رہے ہیں آزاد اور گر گئے بے نظری آئے علم غازی کا یہ علم وہ چھا رہے یہ علم داری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جاری ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے ماں بہنوں کو ہے پیغام میرا صرف یہی اپنے بچوں کو جلوسوں سے نہیں روکو کبھی یہ شہادت ہے شرف یہ شرف جاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے ہے شمع سے شمع جلے سلسلہ جاری رہے ہم رہے یا نہ رہے یہ آزاداری رہے اور آخر بھی ہم سب مل کے عزادارو اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا شاہ لولاک کا واسطہ آپ کو پنجتن پاک کا واسطہ آپ کو جو ہے بیمار ان کو شفا دیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا اپنے روزے پہ ہم کو بلا لیجئے یا امام رضا یا امام رضا. It's requested to recite five times أما يجيب المضطر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء. 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 أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء.
आपने दुआ की है बीमारों के लिए। इराक़ की हालत बहुत ख़राब है, काफ़ी जगहों पर, काफ़ी शहरों में प्रोटेस्ट हुए हैं। अभी जो ख़बर आई है कि कई जो हशद शाबी के लोग थे उनको मारा है उन लोगों ने, तो प्रोटेस्ट काफ़ी हो रहे हैं, लेकिन सिचुएशन काफ़ी ख़राब है इराक़ की। आप अपनी दुआओं में, अपने नमाज़ों में वहाँ के मोमिनीन के लिए और वहाँ अमन कायम होने के लिए दुआ कीजिएगा, भूलिए नहीं, इसलिए कि जितने वहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट होंगे या सिचुएशंस बिगड़ेगी उतना ही लोगों का नुकसान ज़्यादा होता है। तो हमारी सबकी ज़िम्मेदारी है कि उन लोगों को दुआ करें, परवरदिगार आलम अहले बैत अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम के तसद्दुक़ में उस मुल्क में अमन और अमान कायम करें, जो लोगों की परेशानियाँ मुश्किलात हैं उनको दूर करें, और जो अहले बैत अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम के चाहने वाले हैं ख़ुसूसी तौर पर परवरदिगार उन सब की हिफाजत फरमाए। जमात की तरफ से एक ऐलान यह है कि इंशाअल्लाह 7 नवंबर नेक्स्ट ट्यूसडे यहाँ पर एक मजलिस होने वाली है। जो जितने लोग इस 2 महीनों में इस दुनिया से गए हैं उनके 40वें की मजलिस है, चहलुम की मजलिस। एक ही मजलिस में सारे प्रोग्राम्स को शामिल किया जाएगा, सारी मजलिसों को। जो उनके रिलेटिव्स हैं, जो मरहूमिन हो चुके हैं, उनके रिश्तेदार हैं, वो लोग नियाज़ फ़ंड में शरीक हों, हिस्सेदार बने, ताकि जमात में आसानी हो सके और नियाज़ फराहम कर सकें अपनी सलामती के लिए। और इमाम रिदा अलैहिस्सलातु वस्सलाम की अपनी ज़िंदगी में ज़ियारत नसीब होने के लिए सब मिलकर सलवात पढ़िए, मोहम्मद व आलि मोहम्मद।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलामु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या हबीब अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या अमीर अलमुमिनीन या सय्यिदल वसिय्यीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या मौलाती या फातिमा अज़-ज़हरा सय्यिदती निसाइल आलमीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या मौलाया हसन अल-मुज्तबा, अस्सलामु अलैका या अबा अब्दिल्लाह अल-हुसैन व अला अली इब्न अल-हुसैन व अला औलाद अल-हुसैन व अला अस्हाब अल-हुसैन जमीअन व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहु। ज़ियारत इमाम रज़ा। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अस्सलामु अलैका या वली अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या हुज्जत अल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या नूर अल्लाह फी ज़ुलुमातिल अर्द, अस्सलामु अलैका या अमूद अद्दीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ आदम सफ़वतिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ नूह नबिय्यिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ इब्राहीम खलीलिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ इस्माईल ज़बीहिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ मूसा हबीबिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ ईसा रूहिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ मुहम्मदिन रसूलिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ अमीरिल मुमिनीन अली वलिय्युल्लाह व वसी रसूलिल आलमीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ फातिमा अज़-ज़हरा, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ अल-हसन वल-हुसैन सय्यदै शबाबि अहलिल जन्नह, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ अली इब्न अल-हुसैन ज़ैनल आबिदीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ मुहम्मद इब्न अली बाक़िर इल्मिल अव्वलीन वल आखिरीन, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ जअफ़र इब्न मुहम्मद अस-सादिक़, अस्सलामु अलैका या वारिथ मूसा इब्न जअफ़र, अस्सलामु अलैका अय्युहा सिद्दीक़ शहीद, अस्सलामु अलैका अय्युहल वसिय्युल बर्रुत तक़ी, अस्सलामु अलैका أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وآتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وعبدت الله مخلصا حتى أتاك اليقين. السلام عليك يا أبا الحسن ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على علي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى عبدك وولي دينك والداعي إلى دينك ودين آبائه الصادقين صلاة لا يقوى على إحصائها غيرك. اللهم صل على علي بن موسى الرضا المرتضى الإمام التقي النقي وحجتك على من فوق الأرض ومن تحت الثرى الصديق الشهيد صلاة كثيرة تامة زكية متواصلة متواترة متوافرة لك أفضل ما صليت على أحد من أوليائك. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك وعلى أختك فاطمة المعصومة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.